Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Khairul Kifli, and today we will be exploring an exciting topic which is the friction in sports and engineering. So this is my teammates.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Asma bin Muhammad Nasrul.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Fikri bin Wan Helmi, but you can call me Fikri.
Good morning guys, my name is Muhammad Darwish bin Anwar, you guys can call me Darwish. Let's go!
Our goal is to show how important a friction in engineering design and sports, from the tread of a vehicle to keep it stable, to the shoes of a footballer to help them to grip throughout the field, and even the gloves that boxers use to control their punches.
Through our video, we explore 3 real-life examples experiences, which is friction tire and tread design, football motion control, and boxing impact forces.
To understand safety, stability, also performances in both engineering and sports.
In physics, friction is the force that resists motion between two surfaces. The strength of the force is determined by the coefficient of the friction, which is represented by the symbol mu, and the normal force between two surfaces.
So, without further ado,
Without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening. So today I'm at the CFS Stadium. Today I'm going to explain to you guys about the friction in sports. First of all, the example that I'm going to show you is when I'm shooting the ball. Let's get into it. When a football player shoots the ball, friction plays a very important role in making the shot stable and powerful. As you can see in the video, before kicking, one foot is planted firmly on the ground. This foot experiences static friction, which prevents it from slipping. Static friction is the frictional force that keeps an object at rest and prevents it from moving. Here, static friction acts between the sole of the shoe and the ground, giving the player a firm grip. Without enough static friction, the player would slip when applying force to shoot. LOL! So moving on to the next part, I'm going to show you the second example for friction in football. It involves the change of direction. Let's go! When I plant my foot to change direction while dribbling, friction acts between the sole of my boot and the ground. This frictional force opposes my motion and helps me slow down before I move in a new direction. As I run, my body has momentum in the forward direction. When I suddenly plant my foot, static friction between the boot and the ground acts opposite to my motion, reducing my forward speed. This frictional force resists my sliding and prevents my foot from slipping.
Ever wonder what's really happening the moment a punch lands? Let's break down the physics behind this hit. We will model the glove as a 10 kg system moving at 2 meters per second. When it stops on impact, its change in momentum, which is 20 newtons seconds. At contact, let's say the glove normal force is 200 newton. Keep in mind this is not the real value. While downward motion, there's its weight. mg is equal to 98 Newton. Along the surface, the glove's tangential push meets friction, either static or kinetic. To keep it clear, here's the view from a different perspective. Static friction can hold up to 120 Newton. Once it slips, kinetic friction drops to 100 Newton. So if the tangential punch force stays below 120 Newtons, the glove takes a split second longer before sliding. That tiny sticks at contact time with total momentum of 20 Newton per second. If contact lasts 0.01 seconds, average force is 2000 Newton. Stretch it to 0.02 seconds and the average force halves to 1000 Newton. Same momentum, smoother energy transfer. This is the graph of average force against contact time. That's what happens in real sparring. friction and contact time decide whether the glove snaps or sticks. In a nutshell, the longer the contact force, the lower the average force.
Hi, so today me and Asfar will present to all of you about the friction in engineering, especially the friction in tires and tread design.
Friction in tires is one of the most important factors in vehicle safety. It is the invisible force that shows a car to grip the road surface, to accelerate forward and to stop in time. Without friction, driving would be almost impossible. This is a worn tire. Notice how smooth the surface is. When tires become worn and the rubber surface turns smooth, the friction with the road decreases dramatically. When this tire moves on wet surface, the friction becomes even lower, and when the driver tries to brake, and low friction means the car takes a longer distance to stop, which can easily lead to a serious accident. To solve the problem of low friction on the road, engineers design tires with special tread patterns. These grooves are not just for looks, they play a very important role in road safety. When a car moves on wet surface, water can build up between the tire and the road, reducing contact and friction. The tread patterns help to channel the water away from the tire surface, pushing it out through the grooves. This allows more of the rubber to stay in contact with the road, increasing the coefficient of friction, or mu. In physics, the force of friction is described by the equation F equals to mu n. Mu is the coefficient of friction depends on how rough the surfaces are, while n is the normal force pressing the tire against the road. When the tire's face is smooth or the road is wet, mu becomes smaller and the frictional force decreases. But with a good tread design, mu increases, which means stronger friction and better control of the vehicle.
In conclusion, tire friction is essential for safety driving. This is because with enough friction, the vehicles can accelerate, turn, and even stop effectively. Meanwhile, with too little friction, accidents becomes more certain. So this is why the tread in the tire is not just a design, but it is one of the technology that keeps more and more drivers alive every single day.